We're back here in the businesstvtoday.com with my friend Mark Kane. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Mark he's a president and CEO for a company called CreditWise Advisors. What is that, Mark? Tell us about it.
Well, CreditWise Advisors was something that I became passionate about several years ago. I've been a business owner for the past almost 15 years now. I came out of the investment banking business, and as what I would call a small business owner, I ran into a number of challenges that basically I became very frustrated with the fact that I continuously had to personally guarantee everything that I did in my business.
In other words, is you were frustrated for you to buy something, you have to have your personal guarantee as a collateral to support your credit.
Right, and the whole idea of me getting into business, and to some degree, was the fact that I could have a business that had its own identity separate from myself, and I wanted to learn how and figure out how to really separate that business from my personal credit. And you're right, I had to personally guarantee everything.
You had to endorse everything.
Right, whether it be leases, whether it be loans, whether it be the credit cards that I used that were in the business name, but my name was always underneath the business name. So that meant that
when you sign, you're dead.
Right, exactly.
Well, so CreditWise Advisors, what can you do for me?
Well, so as a business
owner.
Right. So as a business owner, what we're able to do is we're able to actually show you step by step the procedure to separate your business credit from your personal credit.
Is that possible in the United States?
It's absolutely possible. It's Donald Trump, Michael Dell, and when they need vehicles for their business, when they want to buy buildings, do they sign for them personally or does the business sign for it? And the answer is the business signs.
The business.
Right. So,
not themselves.
Exactly. So if Trump goes out of business, which he had a corporate bankruptcy, it didn't affect his personal credit.
Because he has several different brands also, several different businesses.
Right.
Each business is a different corporate, and when that particular corporate doesn't go well, doesn't affect his life.
Exactly. So I started asking all of my accountants. I started asking.
Wait. You're talking about Donald Trump. How about me, a
that's
normal single person? Can I have that benefit?
That's exactly what I wanted to find out. Because I said, look, I don't want to have to sign for everything personally. What can I do to separate the two? Mm-hmm. And all of my professionals, the accountants, the attorneys, said, you have to build business credit. Okay, so how do you do that?
Wait.
Well, they didn't have the answer.
That's a question everybody wants to know. How do we do that?
Right. So there's a number of steps that you have to take. And that is what we do for our business clients. We show them step by step exactly what they need to do. And it's not that it's a great mystery, and it's not that it's not something that they can't do by themselves. It's just that as a business owner, you're busy building your business. You don't have the time, effort, and the energy to go through and find out what all these steps are. We make it easy in that respect.
Mark, when you have a heart problem, you go to a very good cardiologist. Have a tooth problem, you have to go to your dentist. When you want to build your credit, find somebody that knows how to do it instead of trying yourself. I have a phrase that really explains everything that foreign people or local people in the United States. If you want to make $1 million in the United States, bring it 3, because the first 2 are going to lose it to learn how to do it. It's easier and much more simple to hire somebody expert in their field, start trying to do your own. Please don't do it. I think that Mark can do that. But we spoke about it briefly before, and you told me about personal credit.
Right.
What do you do for personal credit?
For personal credit, because it is tied to your business credit or vice versa, actually. Mm-hmm. Everybody as a business owner, especially in today's environment, mm-hmm. every business owner that I'm talking to is getting crushed one way or the other because they're putting everything on their personal credit cards. The banks are not lending. And so as a result, their utilization, the amount of monies that are available for credit for their business is shrinking, and that negatively impacts their credit score.
Absolutely.
So several years ago, we got trained by the foremost credit attorney in the country, and we became certified credit experts. Mm-hmm. So we're able to actually work with an individual's credit, go through the restoration process, examine those things, and that's the key. We
you know what? Restoration, that's very, very important.
Right.
You don't only clean it, you restore the credit.
It, exactly. And so to simplify it, we audit individuals' credit, much like the IRS would audit your taxes. Mm-hmm. We audit because the Fair Credit Reporting Act very clearly states what the credit reporting agencies as well as your creditors must do. We found that CNN did a study, and they found that some 90% of all credit reports have errors. And
90%. 90%.
right, and 40% of those errors are enough to decline you credit. So 40% of those errors are enough to make it so you can't get any type of credit.
That's why a lot of people would like to have a new credit card or apply for maybe a home loan or buy a new car. They cannot do it
Exactly.
because the credit goes so low, and even though that he knows it's a mistake, he cannot get the credit because it's a mistake in his credit.
I know on my own personal credit report, I found an error that was 18 years old that I never really realized was having an impact. Now,
18 years.
18 years.
Well, let me ask one question. I think everybody's watching businesstvtoday.com right now. They know about this. In the United States, I think the law says that after 7 years, you're entitled to clean that problem in your credit, and you have 18 years there?
Right. So that's the thing. And that's the whole reason why credit restoration can work, because there are certain things that should have been off that aren't taken off.
And they're still there.
Right.
And affect your credit.
Right. So not only is it important for someone like CreditWise advisors to actually do the analysis, is knowing what steps are necessary to get it removed. So what we do that I feel is different is that we, again, as a business owner, I know what I like and what I don't like about other companies and how they treat me.
Okay.
And I decided that I was going to do the things that the other companies weren't willing to do, which is companies very easily can go out and make claims that they'll do something for you, but very few will actually back it up with a money-back guarantee.
Exactly.
And that's what we do.
You back it up?
If I don't do exactly what I say I'm going to do, and we put everything in writing, if we don't do it by the time that we stated, no questions asked, we give the money back.
Is that all this explanation is in your website?
Everything is there.
What's your website?
All right, so the website is www.CreditWise singular, even though our name is plural because we have many employees, so we have many advisors. The website is singular, www.CreditWiseAdvisor Advisor.com.
And your phone number?
My phone number is 561-208-5819.
In your email for the people that are watching to send an email to request some communications and request to you.
Right, so it's Mark, M-A-R-K, at CreditWise Advisors. Now, this is the plural. Okay. All right, so if I haven't confused you by now, so it's Mark at CreditWiseAdvisors.com.
Well, with S or without S, the website without S, advisor, and his email with S, advisors.com.
I've become the company that you go to when the banks say no.
Okay, that's very, very important, because I remember you mentioned to me, and you showed me a brochure that said CreditWise advisors. When the banks say no, come to me.
Right. When the banks say no, where do you go? And so, quite honestly.
After the banks say no to me, can I go to you, and are you able to solve my problem?
Right. So we do it twofold. One is that we get your business in business shape, meaning their credit, and we start that separation process. So whether you're in business, brand new startup, or you've been in business 10 years.
Oh, you don't need to be 10 years old.
No,
it can be
you
startup
right,
too.
Exactly. As long as you now have that EIN, that tax ID number, you can start building that business credit. But there's some keys. The key is this, that there's a 20-point checklist that every bank is going to evaluate you on. They never let you know what those details are. We give them to you. The formula, if you will, the formula for fundability, to be able to be in a position to get bank lending, is what we call 531. 5, vendor trade lines. 3, business credit cards in the business name without the personal guarantee. And the first bank loan. We will get you through that process.
In how long would that take, average?
Again, average is 6 months.
For a company to have
5 vendor trade lines. So these are
3 credit cards?
3 credit cards.
And 1 bank loan.
And 1 bank loan. So that's the very important. Every business needs that.
As you can see, Mark can help you in a very different way. So if you're looking for grow your business, get a better credit, your personal credit be restored, contact CreditWiseAdvisor.com, contact Mark, I think you're going to be in very, very good hands, and that could be a big change for you in this recovery economy that we were in. Thank you very much,
All right,
Mark.
good. My pleasure. Thank you.
Jay Almeida from the businesstvtoday.com. We'll be right back with another important interview.